Hey folks, this is OC from Digital Adventures. Got another great project for you today. This one is called Balloon Release. And what we're going to do is essentially we have 5 different sprites. We have a couple different colored balloons. We have blue, yellow, purple, red, and green. And what we're going to do is we're going to have these float up into the air using some cool effects. So let's click on full screen and show you how this works. So I'm going to click on the green flag. You see these balloons getting released into the air. What you notice is that they get bigger as they approach the top of the screen, and they also have a little bit of movement, and that's to sort of simulate what it would be like if you released a balloon outside, got a little wind effect. So let me show you how this works. So we're going to stop this here. We're going to close this down, and what we're going to do is we're going to clear this existing code out of here. And what we're going to do is we have the party backdrop here that we selected. So you can see which one we selected there. But let's go ahead and go into Balloon 1, the code for this. So let's start off with a when green flag click. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into events. We're going to get ourselves a when green flag clicked. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go motion. And what we want to do is we're going to show this balloon. We want it starting at the bottom. So you want to position it kind of off the screen a little bit. And this will immediately capture those coordinates. So we're going to grab that to be at x equals -187 and y equals a -240. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into looks. We're going to get a hide block. And what this means is that we're eventually going to be creating some clones of this balloon. So we're going to go into control. We're going to grab ourselves a forever loop. And then what we're going to put inside this forever loop is we're going to say create clone of myself. If we create clone of ourselves like this, it's going to instantaneously create the clones, which is going to sort of overwhelm the system. So instead of doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to grab a wait block, and we're going to have this create a new clone every 3/10 of a second. Next, what we want to do is we want to say what happens once we start as a clone. So we're going to go into control, get ourselves a when I start as clone block. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into looks, and we're going to get a set size too. We want this to start off at 20% so that it's a little smaller, and this is going to allow it to grow as it goes higher in the sky. Then we're going to say we want this balloon to show up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a repeat until block. And what we want to do is we want this to do something until it gets to the top of the screen, also accounting for that balloon string. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a greater than operator. And we're going to set this up to be a greater than 250, and that's going to be a little off of that screen. And what we're going to be looking for is our Y position greater than 250? So we're going to go into motion, we're going to grab this Y position, and then while we're doing that, we're going to get ourselves a change Y by. So we want this to go up into the air by 15, and then we're going to grab ourselves a pointing direction as well as a turn clockwise. So we grab that, but instead of it just being a pointing direction, what we want this to do is be a little more random. So we're going to grab this to be a pick random, and we're going to have this vary between 70 and 110. That's going to be the angle of this. So it's going to sort of like look like a quarter circle where the balloon spawns from. Next thing that we're going to do is we want this to grow in size. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a change size by, and we're going to have this change size by 5. And we want all of this to be on a little bit of a delay. So what we're going to do is in control, we're going to grab ourselves a wait block. And once we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to have this wait 0.05 seconds. And then finally, what we want to do is we want to delete that clone. Delete the clone. And so this is going to be the general movement for this. Now let's go into these other ones. We're going to clear this existing code out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this code over from the first balloon. So let's clear these out of here. And then we're going to copy and paste these over. All right, so we go back to this one. And so what we want to do is we're going to click on this. You see it sort of jiggle a little bit. That means that it's over that. Going to do that again here. Going to make sure that that went in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do that for the next one. So we see it sort of shake a little bit. You see it shake a little bit. Let's check that it's in there. Yep. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do this again for balloon 4. See it shake a little bit. So we grab that there. Do another shake there. Check that it went. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do it for the final one. I'm going to check that it's there. All right, so now we've copied this code over. So the final thing that we want to check for is we want to make sure that all of these are at the right coordinates. So balloon 2, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the coordinate to be a -8 and a -240. And that Y is going to be at the bottom of the screen. And then for balloon 3, what we're going to do is we're going to change that coordinate to 158 and a -240. And then for balloon 4, what we're going to do is we're going to do 80 and a -240. And then finally, what we're going to do for the green balloon is we're going to say that this one is going to be at, let's call it, let's call that 120. Let's see where this one is. Actually, no, let's make this -99 so that it's at that spawn point right there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to check to see if this looks like it did before. So we're going to click on the green flag, and we see the balloons are going up into the air again. So hopefully that you've enjoyed learning about how we do this animation. I know that people do a lot of balloon releases and things like that. This is a fun way to create a project that animates, and you can change the different variables around to make this look how you want. So if you enjoyed this, we hope you'll give us a like, a comment, or a subscribe. Thank you so much. Hope to see you back for the next one.